Yo, what's up guys? So in this video, I'm going to share with you a good sandwich trick, and by now you probably realize that I love sandwich tricks. This one in particular is really good because you get to have your audience member or members do the work for you, and it's a really nice sort of ambitious rising sandwich to the top that comes at a surprise. It's sort of a handling or a take on the classic Smiling Mule by Roy Walton, and it's a great one. There's some cool moves in there that you're really gonna like. Let's get into it. Alright, so for this trick, I'm going to use, let's use the kings for this trick this time. Alright, the reason why I like to use face cards is because they're a little bit heavier than the rest of the cards, which will come in handy a little bit later. Alright, so for now, I'd like you to select any playing card. So as I dribble the cards, just say stop anytime you'd like. So maybe they say stop right here on the 10 of hearts. Alright, so now we can just bury that 10 of hearts somewhere deeper into the deck like this. Maybe give it a shuffle just to really make sure that that 10 of hearts is lost in the deck. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bury both of those kings into the deck one by one, and we'll take turns doing it. Alright, so all you have to do is cut anywhere in the deck. We'll put that first king somewhere. Maybe they put it there is fine. And we square that king up. Next king goes in somewhere, and it's my turn to cut, so we cut about maybe right there is fine. Now look, all I have to do to find your card is first make something crazy happen with those kings, which is this. Watch, if I just riffle up the side of the deck like this, I can get one of those kings, and I feel it, hopefully. Yep, that's a king, because it feels a little bit heavier than the rest of the cards. I think it's a king all the way to the top of the deck. Let me check the next one. No, that's feels a bit lighter than that king. Let me check the next one. Ah, yeah, that's definitely a king. I can tell by the weight of the card. So both kings have managed to rise up through the deck all the way to the top, but in the process, actually caught one card. One card got stuck in between in the process. What was the card that you chose? The 10 of hearts? So this trick is actually pretty easy to do. I mean, there's one move, and it's not too difficult, and it's kind of fun to do, and it's totally fooling. Alright, so let's say you had two of these kings in here like this, or any cards work. I just like to use the kings because of that whole explanation of the cards being heavier than the rest of the cards. So what you're going to do is it's going to seem like you take out both kings, but really on the second king, you're going to do a move called the caps switch, which looks like this. So when you spread through and you get to that first red king, or whatever card you're using, you want to condition them for the move that's about to take place. So all you're going to do is when you come to it, what you're going to do is take it into the other hand like this and lay it down onto the table. Alright, so these fingers just grasp it from underneath like this, and then turns face down like this and deposits that card face down onto the table. And so you want to make this look exactly like the fake move that's about to take place. So you spread through. Alright, so the first king is right there. Take it like this, clip it on your fingers, and turn it down like this. And that's really the king. So on the second king, when you get to it, it's going to look like you do the same thing, but really you're going to switch it for another card. Alright, so just like before with that king, you just take it like this and put it down. But in that process, it's actually switched for a different card altogether. So it's actually very easy to do, and it's totally deceptive. So what you're doing is this. Since the cards are still in a spread condition, you just simply take both cards, alright? So instead of taking one card like this, you will just take two cards like this, alright? So the king plus the card right beneath that king. So the cards being in a spread condition really help, alright? So you just go through as you're spreading. It's going to seem like you take that king like this, just like the one before, but really you take both cards, alright? So the king plus the card right underneath. But doing it like this, of course, is kind of obvious. So what you want to do is necktie the deck, do this move where you just tilt the wrist to yourself like this, and then do that, and the move is complete. So that's basically the caps switch, or sometimes called the lay down switch. And so when that happens, you'll have a king right here. So you don't want to flash that right away. So what you want to do is still in this neck-tied position, just bringing these cards to the top of the deck like this, still upraised like this, so the king is now the top card of the deck. So the real situation is that you have a king as the bottom card over here, and then a different card right here on top of that king, but they believe these cards to be both of the kings. So now you're going to have a card selected and controlled to the top in a way that doesn't disturb that top king. So in other words, you want to have a card controlled and you want to have a card selected and controlled to the top on top of the king. Any control that works, you could simply just do a double undercut. They pick a card, let's say it's the 6 of spades, just swing cut the deck, have them put it right there on top of this lower packet, thus putting it on top of the king, right? So they return it, you slap them down, keep a break on top of it, do a double undercut, boom, it's done. Or you can just simply cut to the break to the table like this, and once again, do the swing cut, they put their card there on top of the king, dribble on, do your double cut to the table, whatever you want to do just to maintain that configuration on top of the deck. The control I used in the performance, of course, is, you all know by now, is one of my favorite controls, the flip flop. I always mess it up. The flip flop plop move by Paul Harris. I mess it up every time. So I've taught it dozens of times on my channel. But for this, to keep a card on top as you're controlling it, normally you would just do this, right? But to keep a card on top plus a card you want to control on top, it's a little bit different. So you want to swing over 2/3 of the deck right into your hand. So they put it there and like this, and now they put it on top of the king. So now you're in position again for the flip flop plop move, right? Throw cards everywhere, Leonard Green it, right? So you're still in this position. Sorry, I'm tired, folks. Alright, so now, once you have the card on top, right above that other king, you put the deck on the table, and you say to them, you're going to bury the kings into the middle, like this. So you ask them to lift up any amount of cards, but when you do more cards, it makes it harder to do, more difficult for me, right? So all you're going to do here is when they cut the deck, you just grab the top card and just miscall it as a king. So they cut some cards. So I'll take the first king and I'll put it exactly where you cut, and then they replace the cut like this, which seems very fair, right? And it is, but it doesn't matter because it's not a king. All right, so now you pick up the deck. Now ask them to pick up the other king, which it is a king, and they can even look at it if they want to, and have them put it on top of the deck. And now you just do a false cut, making it look like you just cut that king into the deck, but really everything is still on top, right? So now all you have to do is say, look, to find your card, first what we'll do is do something really cool with the kings. So you could do something like this and say, look, if I feel the top card, feel the weight of it, I think it worked. I think this is the king. Let me see. Yes, a king. So now we'll take a look at the next card, and that one feels a little bit lighter. I don't think that's a king. Let's check the next card. Yeah, that's definitely a king. It feels a little bit heavier than that one. Let's take a look, and it is the king. So that already is a cool trick in itself, because the two kings that were just put into the middle of the deck rose to the top under impossible circumstances, right? So this card that's in between is a mystery at this point, but I mean, what card could it be? Of course it's going to be their card, so reveal it however you want to, and that is just a little trick, a sandwich trick that I enjoy doing. Hope you liked it. Alright guys, so as always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me, and so if you learned something new and if you got value from this video, do me a huge favor and hit that like button and sub to the channel. Until next time, happy practicing. I love you guys.